A very good evening and thank you for finding yet another time to join us on Y254 News. My name is Yvonne, Anyula, and today being a Business Tuesday, we are asking, what is the position of the youth in agriculture? What is the position of the youth in agriculture? 22162 is our SMS line. Sending your comments and views, starting with the word Y News. And today in studio, I'm joined by Abdulrazak. Abdul, hello.
Hello, how do you do?
Fine, thank you. What do you have for us tonight?
Well, tonight we're discussing the position of the youth in agriculture, and 22162 is the SMS line, as you've said, that they're going to send their responses, starting with the word Y News, at Official Razaki, at Y254 channel, hashtag Y254 updates. That's where we are on Twitter. And I've got guests for you in the studio to discuss with us the topic. We have Bernadette Murgar from the Smart Farmers. Welcome to studio.
Thank you.
And she is the CEO of Smart Farmer. And we have Mr. Alan Wekesa from Smart Farmers. Well, he's the communication consultant. Welcome to studio. Great. So, what do you have for us in the news?
The government plans to reduce the cost of power by ensuring power producers sell their electricity to Kenya Power in Kenyan shillings. Speaking during the PPA study release, Energy Principal Secretary John Joroge said the government will put in place measures to reduce the cost of energy in support of the manufacturing of its Big Four agenda. This will benefit Kenyans who will pay less for electricity. Have a look.
High cost of electricity, delayed token generation, and forex adjustment is among the issues consumers face, even as the government works to ensure that power is easily accessible. The government is now shifting its focus to ensure that Kenyans enjoy low cost of electricity by adopting local currency tariffs for power purchase. A slight fluctuation has often seen these costs passed to consumers.
At the moment, power purchase agreements are denominated in hard currency, typically in US dollars. So the payments that Kenya Power makes to project developers are in dollars, yet the revenues that they receive from consumers are in Kenyan shillings. So Kenya Power bears the risk of any loss due to depreciation in the Kenyan shilling. They pass that risk on to you and me, to the Kenyan consumer, and it shows up in your monthly electricity bills.
According to the study commissioned by ERC and in partnership with PIDG and Garantico, adopting a local currency tariff power purchase agreement will ease risk associated with forex fluctuations. Miriam Masava, Y254 Biz.
Moving on, President Uhuru Kenyatta yesterday flagged off 4 trucks carrying crude oil from Lokichar, Turkana County to Mombasa as part of early oil pilot scheme. The trucks, each carrying 150 barrels, will take 10 days to reach Mombasa. The crude oil will be stored at the Kenya Petroleum Refinery Limited to accumulate a sufficient volumes to be exported.
The oil tankers to transport the first batch of oil to Mombasa.
The Kenya Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission has interrogated seniors. I'll take that again. The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission has interrogated 6 senior national CEOs and produce board officials from the North Rift region over the 2 billion shillings maize scandal. The senior managers and key staff from the 6 depots are suspected to be involved in the smuggling of cheap maize from Uganda that was delivered to the board's buying centers. Have a look. Be having
Tuesday said 70% of the 2 billion shillings lost was transacted in 6 depots in the Western Kenya region.
The targeted NCPB depots are Eldoret, Moist Bridge, Kitale, Bungoma, Kisumu and Nakuru. According to Mr. Mue, more NCPB staff and farmers are yet to be interrogated, and if implicated, they will be arraigned in court to answer to charges of misuse of public funds. The scandal involves several individuals who delivered the cheaply imported maize to NCPB depots at night and received prompt payment. Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Mwangi Kunjuri has admitted that some powerful individuals were behind the maize scam. He, however, maintained that the officials are not in his ministry and has promised to table an audit report on the scam's beneficiaries. Leaders from the North Rift region have demanded an independent audit to determine the quantity of maize delivered to the depots. Several tons of crops have since been attacked by pests and molds due to lack of proper storage facilities as farmers struggle to find market for their produce. For Y254 Business News, my name is Abdulrazak Ingutia.
And KCB Bank of Kenya has entered into a strategic partnership with Liberty Life Insurance to offer an education savings plan dubbed KCB Elimisha. The plan, which is to be rolled out by KCB Insurance Agency, will see the bank venture into the country's education sector by offering an affordable insurance savings product. Benefits such as 15% premium discount on quarterly, semi-annual and annual payment. The policy is also flexible with options on upgrade, downgrade and premium escalation. KCB Elimisha is crafted to cut across social classes and included the lowest minimum premium payment in the market for similar solutions. The plan has terms ranging from 5 to 20 years with the sum assured option ranging from 50,000 shillings to 40 million shillings. According to the KCB Group CEO Joshua Oigara, the collaboration will enable KCB to continue serving its clients in various business segments, as well as play a crucial role in contributing towards securing the future of the children through comprehensive product proposition. On the other hand, Liberty Life Assurance Managing Director Abel Munda emphasized on financial planning as the first step to actualize children's dreams. And Kenya Breweries Limited may suffer a setback in procuring sorghum for its Kisumu plant following heavy rains and voracious appetite by birds conspiring to destroy the crops still on farm. Over 12,000 growers in Nyando, West, Karachuonyo and Lambwe Valley in Kisumu counties have been hit by the torrents and ravenous birds. The affected farms are in Got Oyaro, Keke Amayo, Osodo and Nyagweta in Karachuonyo, Got Jope, Waondo and Kamsama in Suba South, Subnorth. The chairperson of Homa Bay County sorghum farmers, Aga Kiroho, expressed fear that the two may slash their harvest. He later added that the floods have greatly destroyed sorghum farms and rendered roads impassable, with the situation becoming even worse, with birds attacking the crops. The crop is fairly drought resistant and thus quite popular in dry areas of Kenya. It is also resistant to waterlogging and yields reasonably well on infertile soils. However, it wanes whenever there is too much water.
The oil tankers to transport the first batch of oil to Mombasa.
We're going to go for a short break, but when we come back, the discussion kicks off. 22162 is our SMS line. Simply send a text, start with the words Y News.
Y254. Imagine.
Kama kawaida, this is
The Buzz.
Tuko na vitu noma, interview after interview.
After interview.
Ilichukua time kufika hapo, lakini ilikuwa wapi?
But Maisha just gave me that platform and just, pushed me outside and made my face visible.
You know, when you are born again and you're doing gospel music, it's not just about singing, it's not just about, wimbo kuhit or watu wamefurahia wimbo napatikana kujulikana. It's about winning souls.
Yeah, I mean the music video.
Yeah, Dusnyao.
Shout out to the cypher and hip hop culture.
and then like watu wengi feel na wa intimidate actually because like every man anaweza piga ngumi unaweza kumwambia kitu wako like why, yo, I'm so chilled out, but can you say hi?
Call me Vivian Dagwa.
And I'm Mike Gitai, and this right here
is The Buzz.
SportPesa Super Cup imeingia nchini Kenya. Wenyeji Gor, AFC, Sharks na Kakamega Homeboys wanajiandaa kuchuana na timu za Tanzania, Simba, Yanga, Singida na JKU. Mshindi atapata nafasi ya kucheza dhidi ya Everton FC ugani Goodison Park. Usikose nafasi nyingine ya historia. SportPesa Super Cup kuanzia tarehe 3 hadi 10 mwezi Juni mwaka huu.
Welcome to Mega Dollar Lottery. To play Mega Dollar is very easy. Go to Lipa na M-Pesa, choose Pay Bill, enter business number 295888, account name Mega. Deposit 10 shillings or more. Enter your PIN, then choose any 10 numbers between 1 and 80. Send to 29588. Draw is after every 4 minutes. You can win thousands of shillings or up to the 30 million shillings jackpot. Deposit, play, win with Mega Dollar.
Y254. Imagine.
Welcome back, and if you've just tuned in, this is Y254 News. And tonight we were asking, what is the position of the youth in agriculture? Please keep your SMSs coming in to 22162, starting with the word Y News. I now hand over the discussion to Abdulrazak Ingutia.
Thank you very much, Yvonne. Now, 22162 once again is the SMS line, starting with the worldwide news. And tonight we're discussing the position of the youth in agriculture. At Y254 channel, hashtag Y254 updates, or at Official Razaki is where we are on Twitter. Now, up to 80% of African youth are 80% of African farmers, rather, are beyond the age of 60, while all the youth are going to urban centers in search of white-collar jobs. Now, last month, the East African Farmers Federation, in partnership with the International Fund for Agricultural Development, launched a 5-year workshop targeting the youth in rural areas to educate them and fund their farming projects. And last week, the Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization, in partnership with Smart Farmers, launched up to 14 applications and the Smart Farmer magazine in order to provide information to farmers about weather patterns, soil suitability, and access to government subsidies. These measures are believed to bear the potential to attract the youth into agricultural activities. Tonight, like I said initially, we're discussing the position of the youth in agriculture. Now, in studio, like I told you, we have
Bernadette Murgor,
the CEO of Smart Farmers and of Africa. Yeah. Yep.
Alan Wekesa, communications consultant.
Thank you very much for joining us in studio.
Thank you.
I'd like to pose a very quick question to the two of you. In as much as we're talking about the position of the youth in agriculture, I'd also like to know, what is the position of Smart Farmers in insofar as the public is concerned? In short, I'm saying briefly, tell us about the Smart Farmers Africa.
Okay, thank you very much, Abdul. Let me just correct you a little bit.
Yep.
It is Smart Farmer Africa.
Smart Farmer Africa.
Smart Farmer Africa is a publisher of Smart Farmer magazine, which is the flagship of Smart Farmer. Smart Farmer magazine is a magazine that it educates, it informs, and it inspires farmers and the sector, including the youth. We aim to empower with information. We aim to get the sector having the right tools to get the best productivity. We educate on how to get more from the smallest piece of land. We tell you about policy. We tell you, we will tell you how, what's new, what's trending, what are the latest technologies, and we are also coming up with new things as Smart Farmer. For example, the East African Digital African Conference and Exhibition, because we feel that there is more to farming than just the usual djembe and all that. Yeah.
Seeds, yeah. Thank you very much for the information. I'm sure it was very wholesome. Now, I'd like to ask you, what is your view? Either of you can take the question, but what exactly is your view on a youth perspective towards agriculture?
Thank you, Abdul. You could look at it in many ways, but I think the challenge with the youth is more of a mindset than anything else. Our young people have always known that farming is kitu cha kwenda kurudi kijijini saa ile umesota wanavyosema when you retire. But going forward with the digital elements that is being incorporated into agriculture, the young people need to change their mindsets and know that there's opportunities out there to make agriculture a business and not just a way of life. And agriculture has transformed into various forms that allow the people who are going into farming to go into the various components of farming. There's that farmer who is the end farmer who will grow their crop. There's that farmer who will develop an application for the farmer to be able to expand their knowledge, define markets, excite their education ways of how they could be able to increase their yield. So the farming is not just the traditional way of going back and planting your seed and waiting for the rain to fall, and there's the aspects of digital agriculture has really blossomed into very many aspects, and that I think is a great opportunity for young people to begin to take advantage of that opportunity and seek how to find gainful employment out of those kinds of opportunities. We recently last week we just launched the first ever East Africa Digital Farmers Conference and exhibition, and it was amazing how my own perception about farmers changed. The people who are very tech savvy and they're back there doing their dairy products, they're doing their poultry, they're doing their cereals, their grains, but in terms of the knowledge that is dispensed from them because of access to information, has really changed how people do business within the ambits of farming. We had the privilege of having a young man from Meru, I think Meru University, and this young man has the solution for semi-arid irrigation practice through an irrigation process that actually determines how you can irrigate your land, not even being where you are, using a smartphone, using a simple phone. So the dynamics of agriculture are so diverse, but the young people need to see the various open opportunities that are available and take advantage of them.
Might I just interject briefly? I would assume from your response initially when you started that there is a very little proportion of the youth who are engaged in agriculture. I'd like to ask you, since you launched all of these applications and also in partnership with Calro, and also you launched the Smart Farmers magazine, and last year you launched the 7 applications, which I was informed at the conference. I don't know if you launched. I can see the look on your face, but I was informed on that conference and exhibition that 7 other applications were launched last year, and up to 5,000 downloads have been made so far of the 7 applications in only a period of 1 year. Now, I'd like to ask you, how exactly do you intend to make sure that the information that has been communicated through your bi-monthly magazine is effective to all the youth that will be interested in farming, and also to attract more youth into these activities?
How do we intend
to make it fruitful?
To make it fruitful?
Yeah.
By offering more information.
Are there outreach programs?
Yes, exactly. In fact, coming from this digital event that we had, we are intending to go to the counties through Agri-Tech Talks. We are expanding the talks because the people who came we want to really, we found that there's so much out there, there's so much information, and we want to reach more youth. So we want to go to the counties with Agri-Tech Talks, where we are now going to invite more innovations and technologies and meet more youth and invite them to come and listen and understand what really is digital agriculture. How can they participate? How can they use their phones and irrigate their land? How can they get market using the phones? How can they use computers to cut out the middleman? So we are going to engage in various ways. That is one of the ways that we're going to engage in Agri-Tech Talks. We are also going to have other events, and we are improving our magazine to see how to push it further to the grassroots so that the youth can get a reach to it. We are thinking of how we are going to go to schools, using other campaigns that we are still working on, and even making our language easier and simpler and more cool and more interesting for the youth to read. So we are adding components of agribusiness because we really want the youth love. When you talk about money, that is what they're looking for.
Exactly.
You're not going to go into agriculture and just continue with subsistence. You want to make money from it. So we are also showing them you need to have the skills, you need to have the tools. How can you make money from this agriculture? So those are some of the ways that we're doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I could just make an addition,
Yes.
I think one of the challenges or great opportunities that lie ahead of us is the opportunity for government to be able to form legislation that would cushion the youth being able to participate into agriculture. One of the amazing things that happened during our conference is that two ministries, the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock and the Ministry of ICT, conjoined and came together to support this initiative, and the conference brought about great researchers from great agricultural world backgrounds that presented papers that would form the legislation base that would now form the background for legislation for this kind of thing. So I think the greatest challenge right now is that the youth need to know what is available in the market, but is there legislation to support that in terms of giving them market access, giving them loans, having financial institutions supporting them? If you have a great idea, for example, you have a great agricultural invention and you want to get support for it, you have a partner who can be able to support you. Do you have a bank that can be able to support you? And it's only legislation that can be able to support that. And secondly, there's a lot of rich information out there through CalRO. There's a lot of rich information, research about agriculture and the benefits and what good things come out of agriculture. But that information is not being disseminated, it's not being dropped down to the people who actually require it.
Definitely.
So one of the things is, what we're doing is to be able to take that information, synthesize it, and bring it down to the mashinani, so that the people down there can know this is actually what is available.
I've got a very interesting question to ask you. You've talked about mashinani, and like we said earlier, up to 80% of African farmers are all beyond the age of 60. And if you look at the grandparents back at home, they are not really conversant with the Android technology. Most of them only have their phones to receive calls, and others don't even send messages, others don't even call at all. They just use the phones to receive the messages. How exactly do you intend to get this information to them, or it's just about the youth?
By the way, you'll be very shocked that your grandmother in the ground doesn't have a smartphone, but she knows all the moshene on WhatsApp. So she knows information. There's a way she gets that information. So the youth,
perhaps through the grapevine.
But there's somebody who's giving them that information. Not every youth in the mashinani would have a smartphone, but they get that information. They know what is happening on the ground. I think for us, it's about opening the access for reach. And that's why my CEO here has said that one of our greatest projects, which is actually on the verge of just getting some serious funding for it, is to take what we're going to be calling Agri-Tech Talks to the mashinani. And what we're doing is for the 47 counties, and we have great interest from Nakuru just after the conference, and we want to go and take Agri-Tech Talks and take those inventions that we saw, the lalais, having great inventions at the conference in front of professors and doctors in agricultural research, down to the ground and speaking to that guy on the ground. You don't have to have 1 million acres to be able to get into agriculture. Excite the crowd, give them information that they can be able to use, give them access to small loans, get them organized into circles through political space, so that kind of thing.
Briefly.
Yes.
Just, he mentioned the challenges, and I think this is something that we really have to address. The challenges are just so vast in as far as the youth are concerned. We talk about information, we talk about their perception, but there is the challenge of those young people who are interested in agriculture. They would perhaps not even have a piece of land. You talked about you don't have to have thousands of acres to enter into agriculture, but there are those people who have totally no land, since it is in the possession of their family and it cannot be used for collateral. How exactly would you tackle this challenge as smart farmers?
Okay, we try to provide options to such things. Yeah. For example, if you don't have enough land, but you have some space, we can give you ideas of what you can do. For example, vertical farming, where you use sacks. You can, within a very small space, you can grow something very, that could take a lot of acreage, but you can get some good vegetables and sell it, because it can give you some good amounts of money. We also trying to talk to government and seeing how banks and government can really push for the youth to get these loans. Also encourage the...
While looking at the challenge of collateral.
Yes. Yeah. While looking at those challenges, because there is money out there. There could be money out there, but getting the youth to reach it can be difficult. So some of the things is encouraging the youth and actually pointing out to them where this money is, who is offering it, how is it being offered, who qualifies and how can you qualify, what do you need. Trying to get, like for example, you was talking about the young guys with apps, introducing them to people with these monies and these technologies, this information. We are looking for all sorts of ways to get this information to the youth.
Okay, now your microphone is up, but I'll not let you answer the same question as she has because of the sake of time. And I'd like to pause this. Let's drop the suits. Let's drop all the, all the official talks from the conference and exhibitions. Let's look at the youth in urban areas. How do the youth in urban areas get to a final word, actually, just make it very brief. How do the youth in urban areas get the opportunity to directly benefit from agricultural businesses?
Okay, they can get into value addition. For example, making yogurt or packaging grains and getting the market for it. They can, there are all sorts of ways they can the value chain is, there are so many ways they can get into it. And there are those who are doing telephone farming. So they can use like digital technology to get to the farms. They can farm while in their offices and reach the farms.
Interesting. Yeah. I take from you the point of value addition and most importantly processing, which is the yogurts and all that. And from you, final words, how do you think the youth will benefit, the youth in urban areas specifically will benefit from agribusiness directly?
My personal view, and which is actually a very strong view that I hold, information is power. Yeah. If the youth can be able to find information anywhere about things that really don't matter for them, for their lives, they can go out of their way and find relevant information that can make their lives beneficial. So we are trying to address the youth and tell them, find the right information that will change your life. It's all about a mindset. If you change your mind and you want to find that information, you will find it. So I urge them, find that information.
Fantastic. That's really great. I'm not going to add anything to your point because I'm going to dilute it. I'd just like to have the viewer benefit from what exactly you've said without any additions. Now, 22162 is the SMS line starting with the word Y News. At official Razaki at Y254 channel, hashtag Y254 updates on Twitter, answering the question, what is the position of the youth in agriculture. Handing over to Yvonne Anyula, my name is Abdulrazak Ingutia. Thank you very much for joining us in studio.
Well, what a beautiful discussion, Abdul. To everyone that made sure that this bulletin was a success, thank you so much. I have been your presenter, Yvonne Anyula. Please do have a good night.